First Contact's arrogance. The Kelvari warships emerged from hyperspace in perfect formation, their obsidian hulls absorbing Earth's sunlight like cosmic predators lying in wait. Admiral Vexthor stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Eternal Dominion, his silver-scaled hands clasped behind his back as he observed the blue planet through the quantum glass viewport. Primitive, he murmured, mandibles clicking in amusement. Their orbital installations aren't even equipped with basic graviton shielding. His crew shared knowing looks. They had seen this countless times before across their campaign of galactic conquest. The humans' first transmission arrived exactly as their behavioral models had predicted. A desperate plea for peaceful contact, broadcast on multiple frequencies in various languages. Vexthor ordered it played through the bridge speakers, more for entertainment than diplomatic consideration. This is Secretary General Chen of the United Earth Council. We seek peaceful first contact and cultural exchange. Our species has much to learn from galactic civilization, and we hope to. Vexthor cut the transmission with a casual wave. Send them our standard terms of surrender. Their industrial capacity will serve the Empire well enough, once properly modernized. He had overseen the absorption of over 30 civilizations into the Kelvari Empire, and this one would be no different. But deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in a facility unknown even to most world governments, Dr. Sarah Chen, the Secretary General's daughter, was about to prove him very wrong. The Midnight Vault, as the facility's staff had nicknamed it, housed humanity's greatest technological achievement and best-kept secret. For 15 years, the world's brightest minds had worked here in absolute secrecy, studying the quantum anomaly discovered in the Mariana Trench. The Kelvari ships are holding position just beyond lunar orbit, Lieutenant Rodriguez reported, her hands dancing across holographic displays. Their shield configurations match our deep space observations, quantum-locked plasma matrices. Sarah nodded, her eyes fixed on the central display where streams of data poured in from their sensors. They're so certain of their superiority that they're not even running active scans. 15,000 years of unchallenged dominance makes for dangerous overconfidence. The quantum anomaly had taught humanity something extraordinary. The fundamental forces of the universe weren't as immutable as physics had once suggested. There were loopholes in reality itself, and humanity had learned to exploit them in ways the Kelvari, for all their advanced technology, had never imagined. Begin power-up sequence for the Chimera array, Sarah ordered. Around her, the facility hummed to life as experimental generators channeled power into systems that defied conventional physics. And get me a secure line to my father. It's time he knew what we've really been doing down here. Above, Vexthor received Earth's response to his surrender demands with incredulity. They're refusing. He turned to his tactical officer, mandibles spread in an expression of disbelief. Scan their military installations again. Show me what could possibly give them such confidence. The tactical display showed Earth's conventional forces mobilizing. Aircraft carriers, missile submarines, ground-based launch facilities. All hopelessly primitive by Kelvari standards. Their most advanced weapons wouldn't even scratch the quantum shields that had protected Kelvari ships for millennia. Perhaps they simply prefer extinction to submission, his second-in-command suggested. It wouldn't be the first species to make that choice. Vexthor studied the tactical display thoughtfully. Something felt wrong. In 15,000 years of conquest, the Kelvari had encountered every possible response to first contact. But this calm defiance from a species that should be trembling in terror, this was new. In the Midnight Vault, Sarah initiated the final sequence. The quantum anomaly's energy signature began to pulse in perfect harmony with the Chimera array. Humanity had spent 15 years preparing for this moment, knowing that first contact was inevitable. They had chosen not to reveal their true capabilities, not to launch satellites that would betray their understanding of quantum mechanics. Instead, they had waited, studied, and prepared. As Sarah watched the energy readings climb, she thought about how the Kelvari's greatest weakness was their certainty in their own superiority. They had stopped innovating, stopped questioning, stopped imagining new possibilities. Humanity, young and uncertain of its place in the cosmos, had never stopped asking, what if? The Chimera Array was humanity's answer to that question, and in the next few moments, it would teach the Kelvari that the age of a civilization was no measure of its potential. Power levels nominal, Rodriguez reported. Quantum synchronization at 99.8% and holding steady. We're ready, Dr. Chen. Sarah took a deep breath, her hand hovering over the final authorization control. Let's show them what humanity can do. The hidden project. Secretary General Chen's secure terminal lit up with a classified transmission from the Midnight Vault. His daughter's face appeared on the screen, her expression grave but determined. Father, it's time you knew the truth about what we found in the Mariana Trench. The quantum anomaly had first appeared 15 years ago, a tear in space-time that defied every known law of physics. While the world's attention focused on conventional space programs and visible military preparations, a select group of scientists had been studying something far more profound. The Kelvari's quantum shields aren't impenetrable, Sarah explained, sending classified data to her father's terminal. They're based on a fundamental misunderstanding of quantum mechanics. They'd been using the same technology for millennia, refining it but never questioning its basic principles. The Secretary General studied the data with growing amazement. The Chimera Array wasn't just a weapon. It was a complete reimagining of how matter and energy interacted at the quantum level. How did we discover this when they didn't? He asked. Because we're young, Sarah replied. We haven't had time to become set in our ways. When we found the anomaly, we didn't try to fit it into existing theories. We threw out everything we thought we knew and started fresh. In the Midnight Vault's main chamber, the Chimera Array pulsed with otherworldly energy. It looked nothing like conventional human technology. No sleek metals or glowing plasma conduits. Instead, it was a geometric arrangement of crystalline structures, each grown from materials that had only existed in theory until the anomaly showed them how to create them. Lieutenant Rodriguez monitored the power fluctuations as the array synchronized with Earth's natural quantum field. The Kelvari are still in position, she reported. No indication they've detected our power signature. They're not looking for it, Sarah explained. Their sensors are designed to detect known energy patterns. This is something entirely new. She turned to the facility's chief physicist, Dr. Marcus Wong. Explain the principles to my father. He needs to understand what we're about to do. Dr. Wong pulled up a holographic model of the Kelvari shields. Their quantum shields work by creating a perfect resonance between particles in normal space and their quantum counterparts. It makes their ships virtually invulnerable to conventional weapons, but they've never encountered anyone who could manipulate the quantum field itself. The Secretary General watched as the model demonstrated the Chimera Array's capabilities. We're not trying to break through their shields, he realized. We're changing the rules that make their shields work in the first place. Exactly, Sarah confirmed. The anomaly taught us that reality is more flexible than anyone imagined. The Kelvari built their empire on the assumption that certain laws of physics were immutable. We've learned otherwise. In orbit, Admiral Vexthor was growing increasingly uneasy. Earth's military forces remained in defensive positions, but there was no panic, no desperate attempts at negotiation. Just calm preparation, as if they were waiting for something. Launch a probe into their atmosphere, he ordered. Full spectrum analysis. There must be something we're missing. The probe detached from the Eternal Dominion, its sensors primed to detect any known form of energy or technology. Deep in the Midnight Vault, alarms sounded as the probe entered Earth's atmosphere. They're getting suspicious, Rodriguez warned. The probe's sensor package is more sophisticated than we anticipated. Sarah studied the incoming data. It doesn't matter. They're still looking for the wrong things. She opened a channel to all stations. This is Dr. Chen. Begin final preparations. We'll only get one shot at this. The Chimera Array's crystals began to pulse in complex patterns, each one precisely tuned to manipulate the quantum field in ways the Kelvari had never imagined possible. The technology looked deceptively simple. No massive engines or weapon systems, just an elegant arrangement of crystals that could rewrite the laws of physics within their sphere of influence. Power levels at maximum, Rodriguez reported. Quantum field synchronization complete. The array is ready. Sarah looked at her father's image on the screen. Dad, I need authorization to proceed. Once we do this, there's no going back. The Kelvari will know what we're capable of. The Secretary General straightened in his chair. For 15 years, he had led Earth's visible preparations for first contact, while his daughter and her team worked in secret to give humanity a fighting chance. Now, everything depended on whether their understanding of quantum mechanics was truly more advanced than that of a civilization 15,000 years their senior. You have authorization, he said firmly. Show them what humanity can do when we're underestimated. Sarah nodded to Rodriguez. Initialize the quantum field disruption. Let's remind the galaxy that age doesn't always equal wisdom. The Chimera array hummed to life, its crystals glowing with an inner light that seemed to bend reality itself. In orbit, Admiral Vexthor was about to learn that 15,000 years of certainty could be undone in a single moment of human innovation. Humanity's innovation. The probe's sensors registered the anomaly first. Deep within Earth's oceanic trench, something impossible was happening. Quantum fields were shifting in ways that violated every principle of Kelvari physics. Admiral Vexthor watched in confusion as his probe's data stream became increasingly erratic. Impossible, the science officer muttered, his scaled hands flying over the controls. The quantum fields are changing. The officer's voice held an edge of panic that Vexthor had never heard before. In 15,000 years of Kelvari expansion, their understanding of quantum mechanics had never been challenged. In the Midnight Vault, the Chimera array reached full power. The crystalline structures pulsed with energy that defied conventional detection, each facet precisely aligned to manipulate the fundamental forces of reality. Sarah Chen watched the readings with fierce concentration, knowing that humanity's future hung on the next few moments. Quantum field distortion at maximum stable amplitude, Rodriguez reported. Target lock on the Kelvari flagship. The lieutenant's voice was steady, but her hands trembled slightly as they moved across the holographic controls. They were about to attack a civilization that had been mastering space warfare since before. Sarah watched the tactical displays with grim satisfaction. Launch the conventional attack, she ordered. Earth's combined military forces, which had been waiting patiently in defensive positions, sprang into action. Missiles and energy weapons that would have once been useless against Kelvari shields now found vulnerable targets. The sight of Earth's primitive weapons wreaking havoc on the supposedly invincible Kelvari fleet was a stark reminder of humanity's message. Technological advancement wasn't just about perfecting existing systems. It was about daring to imagine entirely new possibilities. Multiple Kelvari ships showing critical damage, Rodriguez reported, her voice now steady with growing confidence. Their fleet formation is breaking apart. They're trying to move beyond the quantum disruption field, but our influence extends beyond. This could revolutionize everything, she breathed. Space travel, energy production, even our understanding of reality itself. She turned to Vexthor, who had been permitted to observe under careful supervision. Your species has 15,000 years of quantum engineering experience. Ours has fresh insights and different approaches. Imagine what we could achieve together. The Admiral studied the readings, his tactical mind already grasping the implications. The other empires and federations will want this technology, he warned. Many will offer alliance, but some might still try to take it by force. Then we'll be ready, the Secretary General stated firmly. But we're not interested in becoming a new empire. Earth will share its discoveries, with appropriate safeguards, to any civilization willing to contribute their own knowledge in return. The age of conquest is over. The age of collaboration begins. Throughout the solar system, Earth's defensive preparations continued. The Chimera Array's principles were being adapted into a network of smaller installations, ensuring no hostile force could ever again threaten the planet with impunity. But alongside the military preparations, something far more significant was taking shape. Research centers were being established, designed to house scientists from dozens of species. The quantum anomaly that had given Earth its defensive advantage was now becoming the foundation for a new era of galactic scientific cooperation. Sarah watched from the Midnight Vault's observation deck as the first wave of alien research vessels entered orbit, each carrying scientists eager to both learn and share knowledge. "We could have used the Chimera Array to become conquerors ourselves," she mused to Rodriguez. "Instead, we're becoming teachers and students simultaneously." "That's what makes us different," Rodriguez replied. 15,000 years of Kelvari dominance ended not because we were stronger, but because we never stopped wondering what if. In the depths of the Mariana Trench, the quantum anomaly continued its mysterious fluctuations, promising more discoveries yet to come. Humanity had proven itself ready for a place among the stars not through conquest, but through innovation and a willingness to share knowledge. The galaxy was changing, and at its heart was a young species that had dared to question the fundamental assumptions of physics itself. The age of rigid certainties was over. The age of endless possibility had begun. Victory through ingenuity. 1 year after the Kelvari invasion, Earth had transformed. The skies above every major city now held a mix of human and alien vessels, their designs as varied as the species that created them. The Midnight Vault had evolved from a secret weapon facility into the galaxy's premier center for quantum physics research. Sarah Chen stood at a podium in the newly constructed Galactic Exchange Center, addressing representatives from over 300 civilizations. Behind her, a holographic display showed the latest breakthrough, a stable quantum corridor that could revolutionize interstellar travel. "The principles we discovered through the Chimera Array were just the beginning," she explained to the diverse audience. "By combining our understanding of quantum field manipulation with technologies from dozens of species, we've opened doors that none of us could have found alone." Admiral Vexthor, now serving as the liaison between Earth and the former Kelvari Empire, watched from his seat with a mixture of pride and humility. His people had undergone the most dramatic transformation of all. From conquerors to partners in the greatest scientific renaissance the galaxy had ever seen. "The humans didn't just defeat us," he confided to a fellow delegate. "They showed us a better way forward. Our empire spent millennia perfecting what we knew. They taught us to question what we thought we knew." In orbit, the Eternal Dominion had been transformed into a floating research station. Its quantum shields, once thought invincible, now served as a testing ground for new theories about the nature of reality itself. Lieutenant Rodriguez, promoted to head of defensive operations, oversaw a mixed crew of humans and aliens working to develop protective systems that could benefit all species. "The key was never the technology itself," she explained to a group of visiting scientists. "It was the willingness to imagine new possibilities. Every species brings their own perspective, their own questions. Together, we're discovering answers none of us could have found alone." Deep beneath the Pacific, the quantum anomaly continued its mysterious fluctuations. But now, instead of being Earth's closely guarded secret, it was studied by minds from across the galaxy. Each species brought their own theories, their own technologies, their own ways of seeing the universe. Dr. Wong worked alongside a team that included former enemies and newly discovered allies. "The Kelvari thought they had mastered quantum mechanics," he observed, watching a group of scientists test a new theory. "We thought we had discovered something unique in the anomaly. We were both wrong, and that's exactly why we're making such incredible progress now." The Secretary General, attending a session of the newly formed Galactic Council, reflected on how much had changed. Earth, once considered a primitive backwater, had become a symbol of innovation and cooperation. The quantum disruption that had defeated the Kelvari fleet had evolved into technologies that were lifting all civilizations to new heights. "We understand now," He addressed the council. That true advancement comes not from perfecting what we know, but from daring to imagine what might be possible. Humanity's greatest strength was never the chimera array. It was our capacity to dream beyond established limits. As if to emphasize his words, the quantum sensors detected something new in the anomaly. Sarah and her team, now including brilliant minds from dozens of worlds, gathered to study the readings. What they saw suggested possibilities that even their combined knowledge couldn't fully comprehend. A year ago, we thought we were defending ourselves against an invincible enemy, Sarah told her diverse team. Now we're standing at the threshold of discoveries that could reshape our understanding of the universe itself. The chimera array, the weapon that had saved Earth, had evolved into something far greater, a symbol of what was possible when civilizations chose cooperation over conquest. Its principles had spread throughout the galaxy, not through force, but through shared curiosity and mutual respect. In the end, humanity's victory hadn't just changed the balance of power, it had changed the very nature of galactic civilization. The age of empires and conquest had given way to an era of exploration and discovery. Species that had once fought for dominance now worked together to unlock the universe's deepest mysteries. And somewhere in the vast expanse of space, other young civilizations were emerging, ready to add their own questions to the greatest scientific endeavor in galactic history. Earth had shown that the path to the stars wasn't through conquest or technological superiority, but through the simple, powerful act of asking, what if? The universe, they had learned, had room for endless possibilities. All it took was the courage to imagine them.